Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being with us tonight. I'm super excited to be here with some distinguished guests. My name is Tarek Kabaj, بالعربي طارق القباج. I'm a VP with Business Banking Chase Bank. And first of all, I would like to take a minute to thank AACC for all what they are doing, which is we've been members, all of us, myself and the guests, for a few years, which is over 15 years for myself and for others even more. And I'm super happy that we still keep doing these events. And today we have one of main subjects that a lot of people ask us a lot of questions about is financial education seminar. Today we have two of people that not only friends but people that I worked with in the past, and I'm very humbled and excited at the same time to present them to you and introduce them to you. These people, they came here with any other immigrants, started small and built the name for themselves. So excited to introduce Mahmoud Al Awadi and Muhammad Halawani. Welcome, guys.
Thank you, Habibi.
Thank you, Tarek.
And you're very welcome. Please feel free to speak Arabic and English. I am sure we have some guests that speak Arabic. Thank you so much, guys, for getting to this seminar and willing to participate, share some of your best practices, some of your ideas. I feel like I'm sitting in a living room with my best friends. It's a little bit weird to see you guys on the other side of the camera. I used to see you, sitting together for coffee or having dinner together, but very excited to be all together and try to share for this moment some of the experience, some of the advice that you give every day to your clients. Today's subject is, as you know, it's financial education. But before we get to the questions, I'll give you a minute, please, to introduce yourself and give a little background and a bio, where you're from, and things like that. So why don't we start with Mahmoud, please, and we'll go to Muhammad.
Habibi, Tariq, thank you so much for having me. Thanks to the ACC. Like Tariq said, we've been part of the ACC for so many years. I myself joined the ACC when I had hair. So I had no hair. This is how long I've been part of the ACC. Arab community, alhamdulillah, I'm a proud Arabi, Muslim, Masri, tamam, immigrant, muhajir. Been in banking since 2005, went through all different positions, worked for companies Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, now with Wells Fargo. Been in banking, investments, portfolio management, and all what I'm trying to achieve today is share a few tips that I've learned over the years, hoping in Nana, if I can get only one person to save some money and make some money, then I'll go to sleep happy tonight, inshallah.
Fantastic. I just want to share one thing with our guests. Mahmoud started as a teller with the Regions Bank years ago. He was a minimum wage. He worked hard. I'm so impressed where he is today. He's one of the most distinguished financial advisors in the area, and I might say even in the country. So I just want to share that. So proud of you, man, and as a friend, and that what you did, and you built a name for yourself. So kudos to you.
Thank you so much.
Muhammad,
Habibi
Habibi.
Tarek, thank you so much for the nice introduction. أكيد بتشكر ال AACC على المجهود اللي بتعمله لحتى نحاول نكون لبعض. نحن one community. بنحاول إنه تشير المعرفة اللي عنا إياها لحتى تخدم الكل. مثل ما اسمي محمد حلواني، أنا من سوريا. تخرجت بعام 2008 بباتشلر ديجري بالفاينانس اند بانكينج من المعهد العالي لإدارة الأعمال بسوريا. بعدين عملت ماستر ديجري بالانفستمنت بالأكاديمية العربية للعلوم المالية والمصرفية، وجيت لأمريكا ب 2013. من أول ما جيت بدي أخذ هذا الباث اللي هو الفاينانشال ادفايزر رول. بلشت بانكر وصل لي financial advisor since 2017. مبسوط كثير excited مع محمود صديق لإلي وأخ، يعني من الأشخاص اللي تعرفت عليهم بداية وصولي لأمريكا. وتعرف أنت طارق كمان أخ عزيز وغالي، وأخي أنا اسم أخي بسوريا اسمه طارق.
الله
تعرفت طارق
يخليك.
بسوريا ولقيت طارق بأمريكا.
Thank you. I
فحنعمل
remember.
جهدنا أي شيء نقدر نشارك فيه ونساعد، فنحن لبعض one community إن شاء الله.
I remember محمد لما جاء على أمريكا as a refugee, and I am sure Mahmoud remember that as well. We're so proud of you. You built a name as well for yourself. You had one goal, and that goal is to be a financial advisor, and you did it, and we are proud of you. You both have great respect from the community. You built a name for yourself, so thank you for all you do. And I see you doing things behind the scene, which you like to keep it behind the scene, and we'll keep it that way. But thank you for all you do, guys. Wow, you know what's the main thing, the main subject. And a lot of people, when they start their life, is the main thing was success for them. And one of the part of the success is the finances. I hope you agree with me, guys. And today, what would like to see, and please, let's discuss, what do you think, guys? One, 2 or 3 things that you might be the major financial decision that people make and people need to pay more attention to it. Mahmoud, I'll let you go first, and we'll go. And please, Muhammad, jump in. This is Tawlat Asdiqa, and our guests are with us, sitting with us and listening to us. Thank you.
Okay, Habib, I'm going to jump into I'm going to say 3 things, tamam. One, tamam. Most of our parents, I didn't come from a rich family, I came from a middle class family. Okay, and that's the majority of immigrants. I mean, let's be honest. If you come from a rich family, you wouldn't immigrate. You would just stay home and enjoy. So we all came here to build a better life for ourselves. So it will be hard for you to get a financial advice from your parents since they were not financially all exceeding it. Okay, seek financial advice from people like Warren Buffett. Read a lot of books financially from people who really excelled in the financial spectrum. So that's the number one thing I noticed is we all love our parents and our culture. احنا كعرب أهم حاجة بنسمع كلام أبونا وأمنا, absolutely. But when it comes to finance, seek it from someone who have done really well over the years. And I mean, I don't say go in person, but read their books, see what they did. That's number one. Number two, the education system here of America is built to make you good employees, not good employers. Try to educate yourself, okay, not to find a good job, but hopefully one day to find a good company to buy. So educate yourself, because the education system is not built around financial education, literally. And money without financial knowledge is money gone. It's just gone, okay? No matter how much money you make, if you don't know how to keep it and grow it and save ways with it, it's gone. And number 3 rule, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. Because كلنا, Tariq, Halawani, they will agree with me, the more you make, the more you spend of America. يعني كل ما تعمل أكتر, you spend more, okay? You don't save more, you spend more. But these are the 3 things, tamam. 1, seek financial advice from people with enough experience or people who have done well in their life, either through reading their books or people like Halawani and Tariq. Sit with them, ask for their advice. It will save you a lot of years and a lot of mistakes and a lot of money. 2, educate yourself, because money without financial knowledge is money is long gone. And number 3, and we will talk about this later, about different ways to save money. It's not how much you make, it's how much you get to keep in your pocket. And with that, I will send it back to Tariq.
Thank you so much, Mahmoud. And someone told me one time, always find someone to look up to. Have someone that you want to be like, and someone that you want to help, and there's someone who is successful, someone who's done it there. I want to the people that are listening to us today, Mahmoud and Muhammad, they are not just advisors, they are licensed advisors. It means they are really worked hard to get licenses. So be careful who you listen to. So you don't listen to anybody who's gonna give you an advice, but make sure you have the right people to help you with the good advice. Muhammad, please, what you would like to add? I would love to hear your point of view as well.
هلا انا حبيت انه اكون بعد ما انتم تحطوا النقاط انا اخر شيء بسطر تحت منها. اكيد بوافق 100% اللي عم يحكيه محمود انك واللي حكيته طارق انك تختار الشخص الصح. الامور اللي بشوفها هون كثير هذا انا بحسه غلط شائع عند خلينا نقول individuals، انه بشوف انا جاري او رفيقي شو بيعمل انه انا لازم اعمل مثله. لازم يعرف كل شخص انه يكون عنده financial plan خاصه فيه، واللي الجولز تبعاتي انا غير الجولز. نحن هلا قديش نحن صحبه انا ومحمود وطارق، بس محمود's goals different than my goals و different than طارق goals. فما يعني اذا مثلا انا عم بستخدم نحن كامثله، اذا محمود عمل شغل انا لازم اعمل مثله، لانه حصير انا وياه لازم نعمل مثل بعض. فاول شيء بضيف من النقاط اللي حكاها محمود بالاضافه اللي قاله انه يكون عندك financial plan خاصه فيك. في اشخاص بيقولوا شو يعني financial plan؟ انا كنت عم بفكر انه كيف ارسمها بطريقه تكون حلوه للاستيعاب. الفاينانشال بلان هي جيرني، هي الجيرني تبعك اليوم بحياتك. انت اليوم بدك تطلع على الاسيتس والديت اللي عندك. انا وياك بهالجيرني حنمثل الاسيتس والديت هي عن طريق عربيه او فيكل، انه هالفيكل اللي بدك تمشي فيها بالجيرني. بهذا الجيرني في عندك شورت تيرم بلانز ولونج تيرم بلان. اللونج تيرم بلان هو تروح من البوينت A للبوينت B اللي هي خلينا نقول retirement. short term plan يمكن انت to move to a different house to go on a vacation. وهي الفيكل قبل ما تطلع فيها بدك تو تشيك ات. الشخص اللي بده يتاكد لك انه عربيتك جيده هو الفاينانشال ادفايزر. بيجي to review all your assets, review all your debt, بيقول لك yes you're good to go. While you're going with your vehicle لازم كمان to check اذا عندك مثلا طلع لك anything on the dashboard. This is when you go and sit with your financial advisor or go back and check your vehicle to make sure it's in good shape. During the journey في شغلات uncontrollable، انه انت لما تكون ماشي بالعربيه خلينا نقول يمكن start training. So في عندك unforeseen factors اللي هن we cannot control، مثل حاعطي على سبيل المثال الماركت volatility, market drop for some reason. This is something we cannot control it. But as long as you check the vehicle and make sure it's in good condition to help you reach point A to point B, that's important. وفاينانشال ادفايزرز هو الشخص اخر شيء اكيد بده يكون عنده credential ويكون عنده لايسنس لحتى يحكي باللانجويج، بس كمان الفاينانشال ادفايزر هو الشخص لازم يكون صديق لك قريب تفتح له كل شيء. هلا في احيانا بيجي واحد بيقعد مع فاينانشال ادفايزر بيقول له اخي انا بس بدي احكي لك على ستوك بورتفوليو. This is not fair for both of them. الانديفيدوال ما اعطى enough information والادفايزر صار limited to talk about one thing. So نصيحه بقولها للجاليه والكوميونتي العربيه تبعنا انه when you sit with a financial advisor be an open book. لأن الفاينانشال ادفايزر الجول تبعه ليساعدك بنصائح يقدر to control it to help انه يخلي هالفيكل to take you from point A to point B.
Thank you so much, Muhammad, which is you're absolutely right. Clear communication between financial advisors and their clients, between husband and wife, between parents and kids. It's very, very important. One point that I would like to tell our audience, we're going to get back to you guys. Mahmoud gave a good idea about books. Mahmoud, if you can share later on a couple of the books that you can give advice to people. And Muhammad, I'm sure you have several names. We can talk about that just to go back to it later on. We have a question, Mr. Tariq. Thank you very much for your question. Can you see it, guys, on the screen? Okay, perfect. So I would like first thank you, Tarek, for being with us and listen to us and for your question. Mahmoud, what do you think? And I'll let Mohammed is just go in, and feel free, guys, to jump in, please.
Sure,
And I can give my opinion as well. Shukran.
some of the financial metrics, we are in the service business ourselves. You know, we're in the business of serving people and taking care of families and making sure they are taken care of. And some of the things I look at, and it's all over the news. Look at unemployment numbers. Look at how many jobs have been created, and look at inflation. These two metrics, unemployment and inflation, is gonna affect your service business right on. Okay, if more people are getting jobs in your area where you have your business, this means that your business is going to grow, and the earlier you prepare, the better your business will do. If you see inflation prices is going up, that means that the cost of the material, the cost of your employment, or the cost of running your business is going to go up. So you better really price the services right, so you also don't lose money and you keep up with inflation. So if there's two metrics you should keep your eyes on, would be employment numbers and inflation number locally. Don't look at the United States. Look at your local. Okay, if you're service based, if your business is local in Orlando, in Tampa, in Miami, it doesn't matter. Look at your metropolitan area. Check the numbers. You can find it online once a month. It comes out, and this will give you an idea. Costs are going up, costs are going down, more people are having jobs or more people are losing their jobs. And based on that, it should help you plan better to keep growing your business, inshallah. I hope that helped.
Thank you, Mahmoud. Matt, jump in, please. Don't wait for me. The floor is
حبيبي
yours.
أكيد. رح ارجع بس لعيد السؤال مثل ما عم نحكي انه what are some financial metrics that a service-based business should monitor to sustain their growth. هلا بما انه هو service based business عندك اهم شيء هو الاوفرهيد. عندك شغلتين انه to sell the service و how much it costs you to make the service. هدول اهم شيء to monitor يلي هو انه how to manage الكوست عندك in the business و how to sell more of the services يلي هو في عندك انه how much does it cost me to get a new client or a new customer. If you're paying too much to get one client, معناتها انت you're not being smart how you're spending your money to get a new customer. كمان how do I maintain my client to get my services. واخر شيء انه how do I manage my expenses. هدول انا اذا بدي الخصهم بثلاثه الريفينيو الاكسبنسز والماركتينج لحتى to get a new customers or clients.
Thank you, guys. I think Tarek gave a great question, which is very deep, and I like Mahmoud's answer about check your local market. Don't look at other areas. Florida is doing fantastic. It's growing very fast. This is really a good area to be. Our GDP is one of the strongest one. We had, I think 2 years ago, and correct me, guys, if I'm wrong, over $1 trillion in 2019, 2020, I guess, before COVID. And we were even, our GDP was higher than Switzerland, which is, we were number 17 as a Florida in the whole world. This is something that a lot of people don't look at. And even we were surpassing, we were, close to Saudi Arabia as a state. If you do the research, and you're gonna see that. Mohammed, I like your idea as well. I mean, you guys, to the point. I hope, Tarek, we answer your question. Do you think you have more questions for that? Please feel free to do that. And if you can give us also what type of business you are, and maybe it's going to give us a better picture, and we can clarify more if this is not clear for you. We appreciate you. Mary, welcome. Thank you so much for the question. This is very technical question. Mahmoud, Mohammed, do you think, let me ask you about CDs short term. Do you think CDs are better than money markets? What do you think, guys? I mean, a lot of people ask questions. Money markets at the bank, teaser rates, CDs, or money market that you have on the brokerage account that a lot of people don't understand. Can you please clarify that? And because people sometimes they say your money market is different than his money market, than their money market. And bankers, some are in sales, they like to overthink it. So please go ahead, jump in, and the floor is yours, guys. Who want to start?
Bussy Marie, as far as the best high yield CD option right now, prefer under 12 months. So apparently, you know exactly what you're looking for. You want your money safe, you want it FDIC insured, and you want it within 12 months. The rates change day by day, every day, because between Halawani and myself, and between Truist Investments and Wells Fargo Investments, we actually have access to all the banks around the country. Not just our bank. So not just Wells Fargo, not just Truist, or not just Chase. No, we have actually broad access, and the rates change every day because every bank is looking for a certain amount, a certain number of assets they are trying to raise for a certain period. I can tell you in general, right now, the short-term maturity rates are much higher than the long-term maturity rates. So
can you talk a little bit why? Sometimes we see 12 months is higher than 5 years, or 5 years is higher than this, and 2 months is higher than 9 months and 10 months.
Yeah.
This is maybe to give an idea how the pricing is in the market.
So general information, interest rates are really sensitive to what the federal bank is deciding and what they are doing with as far as the interest rates, prime rate, or the inflation. So rates and inflation. And as they see inflation going up, they start increasing the interest rate, and they want to keep the interest rate high for long periods to fight inflation. How is this fight inflation? When you raise the interest rate, see someone like you, Marie, they will go and put their money in the bank. You're not going to invest the money. So they take liquidity out of the market. And when you start collecting liquidity out of the market, inflation starts to cool off. Why? Because why would you go and work hard and take risk if you can make, high income on deposits at the bank was insured? And when inflation start going down and the market or the economy in general start to cool off, then they cut the interest rate because they want you to take the money out of the bank and start investing outside and take some risk with the money. And these are the tools the federal bank used to fight inflation. Now, as we see inflation in the past 18 months, inflation started late 2021. At that time, the CD rates was paying 1 year CD was paying 1.25. That was the best CD rate, 1.5. And then as inflation started going up, the federal bank, they got it wrong. They told us it was transitory. Transitory inflation means it's temporary inflation. It's not here to stay. And then we had the whole supply routes, and things were not coming from China, and the ports were not getting enough. And then the prices start going up. And then Russia started the war with Ukraine, and we start seeing the oil prices going up. So inflation start going up. And then top this was very hot employment market where there was 2 jobs for everyone looking for a job. So all of us got a pay raise. Everyone was looking for a job that was paying him more. And every business owner was literally taking the cost and just passing through to the clients. So all these factors ended up with inflation almost 8%, which talking from a country had a 2% inflation up to 8% in a very short period of time. That was 4 times the inflation. So the federal bank raised the interest rate the fastest pace, the most aggressive we've ever seen in our history. Okay, where literally the prime rate went from 0, or the Fed's rate went from 0 to 5.5% today. Okay. Now, as inflation is cooling off, so all the banks, all the financial institutions, they have to price the CDs based on their long-term vision, right? Because they don't want to pay you a lot of money if they think that the Feds are going to cut the rates in 2 years, 3 years. We know the Feds are keeping the rates high now, so rates under 12 months should be around 5%, okay? But if you go look at 2, 3, 4 years, you actually go down to 4 and 3%, which is not normal. Normally, the longer you lock your money, the higher rate you get. But since we're not in very totally normal times, the shorter period, the shorter the maturity, the higher the rate. So again, which bank, which CD? Like I said, they change every day. Reach out to Tariq Halawani or myself, and we'll tell you what's the best rate that day, that CD at that particular day. But I hope I touched or helped explain a little bit how banks work and what's the relationship between inflation and rates and CDs.
Wonderful, and you're absolutely right. This is something that it's based on what's going on in the market. We can see, and people should know that the higher the rates for the CDs, you have to keep in mind the mortgage rate is going to be higher as well. What do you think, guys? Mohammed, can you say something about that?
صحيح. هلا نقطة حلوة، أنا حبيت كيف محمود بدأ إنه I think هلا Mary you know what you want or what you need. بس بحب اقول نقطه انه دائما يكون عندك جول انه اخي ما انا اليوم في الانترست ريت 5%. انا اذا بدي اروح على السي دي ل 1 يير سي دي معناتها انا مثلا عندي كابيتال او مبلغ معين بدي استثمره للسنه، لانه بعد سنه بدي الاقي توظيف ثاني لهذا الاستثمار. هلا اذا انت كان هذا المبلغ ما بدك اياه ل5 سنين، انت هيك you're not aligning your investment with your objectives. معناتها انا عندي هذا المبلغ تركه ل5 سنين، سواء بدي اشتري بيت او سواء بدي اتقاعد to retire بهذا المبلغ، استثمره للسنه، بعد سنه صار في عندي interest rate risk، لانه ما بعرف شو الانترست ريت حيكون بهداك الوقت، او المبلغ مثلا اللي انا وظفته ما طلع to keep up with inflation. فاهم شيء بس هي بحط بدايه انه خلي الانفستمنت تبعك مترابط او correlated مع الجولز والاوبجكتيف تبعك. نجي هي اول نقطه. النقطه الثانيه اللي بدي اضيف على اللي حكاه محمود، الادوات اللي بيستخدمها البنك المركزي او بنسميه الفيدرال ريزيرف بانك، هي عندنا شغلتين، ان في عندنا الفيسكال بوليسي والمونيتري بوليسي. في عندنا نحن الفيد هو منشأة تاخذ المعلومات وبناء عليه بتتصرف لحتى تحافظ على القوة الشرائية للطبقة المتوسطة، لأنه هن أكثر طبقة بتتأثر بالهاي انفليشن هي الطبقة المتوسطة اللي هن عندهم بيتشيك ثابت من فترة للثانية. اللي صار معنا بناء اللي عم يقول عليه محمود الانفليشن، وهذا الشيء 100% شاهدناه وشفناه من وقتها بعد كوفيد، الاسعار غليت، فالفيد بده يتدخل لو بده يبطئ الايكونومي يخلي الامور to become more expensive. كيف تكون expensive؟ انه يرفع الفوائد. صح هو attractive لنحن نحط السي دي، بس ما ننسى انه small business owners لما بدهم ياخذوا قرض صفى بدهم يدفعوا فوائد عاليه لحتى يخلوا هالكابيتال او هالمبلغ عندهم بالبزنس تبعهم. لما ترفع الفوائد فانت بتبطئ حركه الايكونومي، وهذا الشيء بيعطي تداعيات سلبيه اللي هي نحن بنسمع انه الريسيشن. الريسيشن هو تداعيات السلبيه اللي بتنتج من انه الفيد بيرفع الفوائد، بيبطئ الايكونومي لحتى ينزل هالتضخم. ساعتها يمكن يصير عندنا ريسيشن اللي هو معناته كلمه ريسيشن هو ركود. الركود صار في عندنا ناس خسرانين وظائفهم، ما عاد عم يطلعوا مدخول او income like before to spend it، معناتها ما عاد صار في صرف spending زايد، معناتها الانفليشن نوعا ما تحكمنا فيه.
To go back to what Mahmoud said, if I may, employment and inflation. So
yes,
it's a
بالضبط.
circle that we're going back. Keep going.
صحيح. فعندنا هلا نحن اخر شيء مؤخرا في قراءات ايجابيه لمعدلات التضخم، نزلت من 9% لاخر ريت كان عندنا 3.3. هدف الفيدرال ريزيرف بانك انه ينزل الانفليشن ل 2. عطى شويه وعود انه بانزال الفوائد 3 مرات اللي هي البرايم ريت. ونحن خلينا نكون واضحين، في عندنا عده فوائد او عده ريتس نسب تقرا من البنك الفدرالي، واحده منها هو بيتحكم فيها اللي هي البرايم ريت. بس نحن بنفس الوقت بنقول طيب البرايم ما نزل، بس سمعنا المورجج ريت نزلت من 8 ل 6. السي ديز اذا بنرجع بنوفمبر وديسمبر السي ديز وصلوا تقريبا 5.5. هدول الودائع والمورجج ريتس بس لحتى نوضح للكوميونتي اللي عندنا، هدول الفوائد بيتحددوا باللي بنسميه التريجري بونز او التريجري ييلدز. تريجري بونز هن سندات خزينه، الدوله بتطرح سندات لتمتص هذا السيوله او الكاش عند الاندفيدوالز. مؤخرا لما انت تعرف انه الولايات المتحده عم تعطيك سندات بفوائد 5%. هذا الشيء كثير اتراكتيف لانه ريسكك صار كثير مينيمال almost zero.
Mohammed, if you don't mind, if you can talk more in English, we have some people that they're trying to understand, and it will be more for them. If you don't mind,
Yeah, أكيد. Okay,
if it's
so
okay. Thank you. I apologize if I stop you. So
no worries. عم حاول احكي عربي لحتى انه نحن ال AACC العرب community.
no. Yeah, I appreciate it. If you can just talk about,
Yeah,
because
okay.
someone is very
So
interested to what you're saying,
yeah,
and they get
right. So going back to the point, the interest rate, we were talking. So I'm going to continue where I stopped, not to go back and repeat myself. So one of the things that we noticed recently, the treasury yields dropped from 5% to 4%. That pushed the mortgage rate to drop from 8% to 6%. And that pushed CDs rate to drop recently from mid 5%, maybe to high 5%. So a few things to know when you buy a CD. If you go with a brokerage firm like my firm, Mahmoud's firm, we can do what we call broker CDs. You have two types of those CDs. You have some types called callable CDs. Callable CDs are the CDs that are called by the issuer. This is my daughter. I'm sorry, she just told me. Yeah, this is Jenna. Callable CDs. Those
That's
CDs
blessed.
are. Be careful when you buy those CDs. You have some CDs. They are called by the issuer. They are called callable. They might give you an attractive higher rate, but keep in mind that you can lose the CD and get your money earlier. So if you know you're for sure you don't need the money for 1 year, get a non-callable CD. Make sure you don't exceed your FDIC coverage, $250 per individual. A broker CD is easy to get from different banks. So if you have 500,000, try to get 2 CDs from 2 issuers. Another strategy I would add here, not to spend too much time on this, ladder your money. If you have a large capital, let's say as an example, 500,000, and you know I might need some money in 5 months, but also I'm not sure if I need it in a year or 2 years, split your money into 3 equal portions, put some in 6 months, some in 1 year, and some in 18 months. So when the 6 months comes to maturity, you don't need the money, you push it again to 8 months. By doing so, every 6 months you will have some money liquid, and at the same time you keep locking yourself in an 18 months CD.
Well, I appreciate it, Mohammed. That's a great discussion. I think we need more information from Marian. That she's feel free to call us or call any one of the guys here. They'd be happy to give you the more advice, and we would love to hear what your plan is, and that's where we can do something. This is one of the best, some of the most interesting, and I love hearing this. These are the people you see every day, and it reminds me sometimes, should I maybe idea of 401k, and we spoke about it behind the scene, and maybe you can talk about that when you have something. So can you please provide type of investment accounts type that starts with 2,000, 5,000 or more? Danielle, thank you so much for your question. Guys, what do you think?
Daniel, I'll tell you straight up. If you work for a company that offer you a 401k, that should be your first go place to start saving money. And I have these discussions with doctors, with engineers, with lawyers, and business owners. So either you are working for a company that's offering you a 401k, or if you're a business owner and you don't have a retirement plan, the best place to start planning for retirement will be starting a retirement account, which if you're a business owner will be something like a SEP IRA or 401k. And the reason is, remember the 3 points I mentioned when we started the call, which was educate yourself financially, seek advice from the experts. And number 3, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. And nothing is better in the USA as far as saving money than actually contributing to your own 401k or your own IRA. This will do 2 things for you. 1, it's going to lower your taxable income. And now all of us are getting our W-2. We're getting ready to file our taxes. In simple math, You made 100,000, you put 10,000 in 401k, you're gonna only pay taxes on $90,000, and the 10,000 get to be invested, and you don't pay any taxes on it. It's tax deferred till you turn 59 and a half, inshallah, then you can access it for retirement. We can all agree that Social Security, if it will be here when we retire, and that's a big if, I don't think anyone can live in $2,000 a month. Not with the prices we see right now. It's just one trip to Costco, one trip to Walmart, and it will prove you that it will be a very challenging amount to live on. So preparing for retirement, the number one question on every American or everyone living in America is, would I have enough money to retire on? Is my money gonna last me? Because after working hard for so many years, the last thing you want is to wait for a handout or wait for your family to take care of. So where do you start? I love that question, Daniel. I have this discussion a lot with my son, Muhammad, who's 20 years old. And I tell him the best thing is you need to get a job. If you have a job, you contribute to your 401k or your IRA.
Give an example, please, about the four. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mahmoud. I know a lot of people know for 401k. Say I work for a company. I have $2,000. Is it better to take it from my paycheck before or after, or how? Give me a scenario. Maybe it's going to help the people about the 401k, the 3% match, things like that. So the profit you make every month and things like that, please. I know you've discussed that so many times. I've seen you doing it, Mohammed.
I love this conversation, but I think I spoke generally about it. I'm gonna let Halawani take it from here and answer your question. So Halawani, just run with the scenario Tariq said and give them.
Yeah, please, if you can give the scenario.
Yeah. So to be more specific, in a 401k is an employer plan. لازم تكون بتشتغل عن شركة لحتى تجيت هالبلان. الميزات لك بالنسبة as an employee, you get a match from your employer. So the first thing you need to know is what's the match that the company will do for your contribution. إذا كانت الشركة بتعطي 3% and you don't contribute in your 401k, you're leaving money on the table. So أول شيء عرف قديش الماتch, and you need to do at least the minimum match to contribution to your 401k.
Can you tell what the match is? Is it 100%? Yes. Is it just the 3%? That's the way you can clarify. Sorry, I just trying to help playing the devil advocate here with the clients.
عمليات الcontribution هي عمليات percent based on your income. So if I make $100,000 and I contribute 3% to my 401k, that means I'm allocating 3,000 toward my 401k. 3,000 divided by 12 divided by 2. This is how much I contribute every paycheck if I get paid bi-weekly or twice a month. As an employer will match 3%. If I put $100, my employer will add another $100. So I double my money right on the spot. Most companies do 3%, but some companies are more generous to do 6%. So number one advice, ask about the match and make sure you match that number, because if you don't do that, you'll leave money on the table. Number two, مثل ما حكى أخي محمود إنه في عندك نوعين بالcontribution. عندك شيء بنسميه نحن traditional 401k و Roth 401k. Traditional 401k إذا عندك مثلا بتحب أنت to save in taxes today or you have high income and you pay a lot in taxes, the traditional 401k will save you the taxes today, but keep in mind when you reach age 59 and a half or older, your income might be less, so you end up taking this money out and pay less taxes. If you are at this is the traditional 401k. The Roth 401k يلي هو كثير العالم دا يمس وانا بشوفه من اقوى الاكونتس انه انت you invest the money today اذا انت in your 30s in your 40s you're planning to retire after 30 years or 40 years, you're gonna grow this money tax free. فانا اذا بحط اليوم $1,000 وبعد خلينا نقول at 10% growth and every year I add $1,000 every year, خلينا نقول مثلا 3000 ضرب 30 سنه خلينا نقول صار عندنا 90,000. With the 10% growth, this 90,000 probably is going to end up 500,000. 500,000 in my account, I can take it tax free. That's beautiful. So برجع بنقول discuss it with a financial advisor, with somebody expert to tell you or give you a recommendation to go either traditional or Roth. Review your mutual funds, understand the risk behind each mutual funds, and invest your money there for your retirement.
Just to add something to our audience, Muhammad made a good point, and Mahmoud spoke about it the first time. Guys, today we are just speaking in general, and Muhammad said that each one of us is different, our situations are different. Feel free to reach out to us later on, to Muhammad and Mahmoud, and talk deeply about your case, and they can help you really, because they need all that data and they can give you the exact scenarios for yourself. So always remember, whatever we say in general, but the most important thing is think about you are different than the other person. You'll be sitting having coffee with someone and he will tell you something and you say, I want to do the same. It does not work that way. It works with your situation is different. Is if you're married, single, how many kids, how your age, how much money you have in the bank, how much time you have for retirement. So please make sure to keep in mind that that's why these people are experts. It's not just to talk in general about it, it's to really be to tailor a plan for you with an advice. Okay. Tariq, welcome back. I think we have more information here. What do you think about someone that wanna run a business remotely? I mean, do you think it works? It doesn't work? Something like that. What are your thoughts, gentlemen?
I'll be honest with you. I read the question. I don't know if I don't understand it or I don't have the experience enough to answer the question. So I really don't have an answer to the question.
And I think we need more. I mean, on the business side, would you just let me ask this? Running a business remotely, you can, if you're running something that it's easy to run, but he's talking about operations. And this is a service. I'm not sure. I think we're going to need more information to really answer this question. How many employees? What's the delegating process on this type of business? Let's
الامور
discuss
فيها الامور مثل
offline.
ما قلت هيك. الكويشن كثير صعب يجاوب بهالبساطه، لانه في عندك لما تقول خاصه overseas what country، شو restrictions، شو political risk tax wise. السؤال صعب يجاوب عليه in this session.
Let's take this question offline and come back to it. Tariq, please reach out to us later on and we can maybe have a phone call with someone and it will be easier to discuss. I'm sure there is just something simple that we can answer here. Thank you so much for your question. Mahmoud, I would like to go back to what you said. Are we ready for retirement? What do you, and how do you answer that question when someone walks into your office? And I'm thinking about my retirement or thinking about, did I do well? Did I didn't do? So what are the things that you think if you start well in the beginning, it gets you there? And maybe instead of going back, now I'm 65 and I didn't save any money. I'm sure you can't have that answer. But what are the things that you can give as advice to avoid that stress when you get to that question?
Tara, I got some news for you. We have people who are multi-millionaires and they still worried if they have enough money to retire.
Thank you for sharing.
Because everyone have a different lifestyle. It really depends on what you're trying to achieve. And I'll borrow what Muhammad was talking about having a plan. What are you trying to achieve? Are you going to spend $20,000 in traveling every year when you retire? Or are you going to spend $100,000 in traveling? Are you going to support your kids when you retire, or your kids will support you? You're gonna downgrade your house, or you're gonna still live in $3,000-4,000 square house? How much your income? Are you gonna sell your business if you're a business owner, or is it just a 401k? But let's talk about general rule of thumb. Okay.
Thank you.
If you take 4.2% of the money you saved, then you're not gonna run out of money. So once again, let's say you have $100,000 saved for retirement. If you take $4,200 a year, this $100,000 is going to be for you for retirement. So it goes back to what's your lifestyle. You want to spend $4,000 a year? You want to spend $40,000 a year? You want to spend $400,000 a year? But I'm talking here generally, 4.2% of the rule of thumb. But we go back to a little bit because it's really all connected. Okay, when do you start planning for retirement? The answer is yesterday. Even today, you're kind of like, it's 7 p.m., the day is gone. Okay, so you start planning for retirement as soon as you realize you need to start planning for retirement that day. How do you plan for retirement? Two things: making more money, saving money. Make more money, save money. Ideas to make more money: investment, grow your business, retirement accounts, 401ks, IRAs, CDs, money market, okay, whatever it is that to get your money to grow. How do you save money? Talk to your CPA accountant about ways to save in your taxes. That's number one. Number two.
Are you asking us to change our culture, being Arab, spending and being like صديقي محمود اشترى, أنا عاوز اشتري زيه محمد عامل.
صديقك محمود is not going to pay your bills when you retire. Listen, no one is going to pay anyone bills when you retire.
أنا بحاول أتكلم شوية عربي, so please.
أنا عارف. بس أنا بتكلم على seriously, the simple way, بالورقة والقلم. I make X numbers, I spend X numbers of dollars, that net should be saved for my retirement. And if it is invested, right, it should double every 7 years. Again, that's another rule of thumb. Does it always work? No, it doesn't. But I'm talking generally. So you have to have the mind set today, doing this meeting, doing this seminar, that what can I do? You finish this computer, you get off your phone and you get a pen and paper, say, I make $50,000 a year. I spend $45,000 a year. Where's that $5,000? What can I do with it? Do I invest it? Do I save it? Whatever. And this is when you pick up the phone and find your financial advisor, or go to the bank, ask for your local financial advisor.
And read, like you said.
Educate yourself. Listen, money without financial knowledge is money gone. It's gone. I don't care how you are, you need the financial knowledge. And the only way to obtain financial knowledge is by reading. Just invest your time in reading. So make money, save money, talk to your tax guy, talk to your advisor guy. Okay. Please don't get advice from WhatsApp. Don't get advice from your friends. Don't get advice from the hookah shops. Just go to the experts. And it's okay to pay. Listen, when you sit and you pay for an advice, you're not paying for the 5 minutes. You're sitting there. You're paying for the 20, 30 years of experience that individual have accumulated to give you a good advice. Let's not go.
Someone taught me one day, a free advice is worth zero.
Free advice is actually expensive advice, because it will be the wrong advice and it will cost you a lot of money.
100%, I agree.
There's no cheap advice. And Halawani, you please go ahead and elaborate, because we see this a lot. And you jump on. It's yours.
أكيد محمود اللي عم تحكيه 100% صح. نصيحة for our community is, number one, focus on making more money and saving more money to invest. How to do so? It's simple. Write down your expenses. Put it in 3 categories: needs, wants, and wishes. Needs: I need to pay my mortgage. I need to buy milk for my kids. I need to buy food. I need to pay rent. Those are needs. Wants: I want to change my car. I want to change my phone. I want to travel. Wishes: I wish I had like a bigger car. I wish I had a bigger house.
My neighbors, my neighbor, something that I want to do like others without thinking about it. It's just those
Right,
kind of
right.
wishes, please.
So أنا بنصح إنه after you get your income, حط the needs. After your needs, whatever you have left, focus on that number before you go to the wants. So خلينا نقول مثلا I make $1,000. I spend 500 on my needs. The bottom line is 500. Focus. What do I do with that 500? أكيد كل واحد يكون عنده plan. You need to take some part of this toward investment, سواء 401k, IRA, SIP IRA, different type of accounts. والجزء الثاني to save it for a rainy day or opportunity in the future. بنحكي على الانفستمنت. شو في شغلات انت بتتحكم بالانفستمنت. One component you risk in you control in your investment هو الريسك. How do you manage your risk? Diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you put little in each basket. Maybe okay, I like to invest in the stock market. Put some in each company. Make sure this company is good, is solid. It will grow in the future, and put little in each company. Don't put all your money in one company. You like real estate? Perfect. Don't go all your money to buy one property. If you can do two properties, split it. If you can do the two property in two different neighborhoods, do it, because this neighborhood might get impacted by a hurricane, but the other one can be fine. So in your investment, try to manage your risk. Try to focus on saving and try to grow the assets to meet your objectives. واللي هي واحدة منها retirement. فحلو هذا البراكتس to do it with somebody عنده knowledge to guide you. مثل ما قلنا be careful, don't get the لان احنا لما نقول free advice ما بنقصد انه you need to sit with somebody to pay him money. The free advice بنقصد فيها نكون more specific. مثل ما عم نحكي تكون قاعد بهوكا بليس وتسمع الكل قال oh I bought this, you all need to do similar to me. I bought Bitcoin. I bought. I'm not giving any opinion here, but just as an example, I invested in Bitcoin. You guys need to do the same thing. It doesn't mean that you need to do the same thing. So focus on to save more money. When you make more money, to invest it to meet your future goals.
Mahmoud, you made a great point earlier as well. Thank you, Muhammad. Guys, I just I want to say thank you for all you're saying. You know, this is super exciting. Mohammed, I like the way when you said WhatsApp. Don't believe on what you receive in WhatsApp. I mean, it's so funny. People will add you in a group of any kind of investment and they tell you you can do this, you can do that. If I may add a point from my personal life, and I think I mentioned it, we need to be careful of our background, our culture. Talking money, I think it was very taboo in our families. It's not someone you can sit down and talk openly like we see here, how much you make or how much you do or what type of debts you have. A lot of people try to keep those as secrets because of our background back home. It's not something that everybody talk about. This is very important, and you guys made the point is education is very important. Educating yourself, listening to the right news, listen to the people, be positive about it, and avoid something that can pull you back. Credit cards. If you're not good with the credit card, don't use it. Some people are using the credit card to take advantage of those, maybe points, maybe cash back, maybe things like that, or to protect their cash money in case something happen. Is the credit card money not theirs? And this is just small ideas. What I like to call it is strategic lending or strategic debt. Not everybody is good with that, but there are few people that are excellent with that and they know how to run it as benefit for them. I'm not saying that we need to have debt for ourselves. This is take us to a very important point, guys, and I'm sure the rent is going up, and I'm gonna switch a little bit gear here, and the rates are for rents are going so crazy now. To find a small apartment, 1,000 square feet, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and they have kids, and their payments are over two, some places are $3,000. I saw even $4,000. What are your thoughts, gentlemen?
Boss, I think buying a house is no longer the American dream. That used to be the American dream, to own your house. That used to be your largest asset, but it is not anymore.
Okay.
Buying a house now should be done simply for a strategic way to how to save money. If I'm gonna pay $1,500 to rent and I'm gonna pay $1,600 to buy, I should buy because one, I'm building a little bit equity, but more important, the interest rate you're gonna pay is tax deductible, which will lower your taxable income, so you will get more money at your end. Every penny you keep from Uncle Sam, you should do it immediately. There is nothing patriotic about paying taxes. The whole country we're in right now started with a revolution when the British increased the taxes on the tea. So taxes should be the first thing you should think of, how to lower your taxes. Rent money is no use when it comes to taxes. Interest rate in your mortgage could help you, depending on how big is the mortgage, how much is your income, and all of that. We're talking generally speaking. And when it comes to buying home, again, go to the expert, go to the people who actually, the mortgage brokers, go to the bank, right? But what could you do to prepare for that? Like Tariq said, don't run your credit cards. Monitor your credit literally on weekly basis. I check my credit every single day. I'll tell you this personally, because
Especially with the frauds that's happening.
I'm worried about fraud. I'm worried about someone hacking, because it did happen to me before. And someone did open 2 credit cards in my name. So I've been burned before. But building your credit, saving money on the side, which, by the way, if you have money in your 401k or your retirement and you're a first-time home buyer, you can use some of it as a down payment for your home. So that's another advantage of participating in 401k or doing retirement. But checking in your credit, make sure it is, what's the number? You want to be at 720 plus. How do you get to 720 plus? Never use more than 20% of your credit card balances. Pay everything on time. Okay. Have good mix in your credit. So not just credit cards, maybe a car loan, maybe a credit card, whatever it is, just something mixed. Okay. And do this for an extended period of time. Get your credit score over 720. If you're a first-time home buyer and it's under 550,000, so you pay 3% down payment, and it's an FHA loan. But when it comes to real estate, I don't want you to think as a house as an asset. Our houses are not an asset, because if things are rough, you can't sell 1 bedroom of the 3 bedroom you have. Okay, you can't. So it's not an investment, it's not an asset, but it's a smart move to save money on your taxes and build equity for the future. And with that, I'll give it to Halawani, and I'm sure that he have way more to add.
And I would like to
حبيبي
add a
والله.
point. I would like to add a point myself. So let Mohammed go first. Go ahead, please.
So يعني عم حاول اني اضيف على اللي انت محمود كفيته ووفيت, but I'm gonna just summarize it مثل ما قلنا. Figure out good debt and bad debt. A mortgage is a good debt. Having a reasonable car loan is a good debt. Credit card is the worst debt. Make sure you يعني to have a good debt is not a bad idea. احنا مثل ما قلنا يمكن في ناس تتاثر بالكالتشر تقول انه I should not be in debt, but بنقول له just think smart, be smart, and sometimes you might need to get a mortgage to buy your primary house. ناخذ البنفيتس بالاضافه للtax deduction. Keep in mind, if you rent a house, maybe your payment will go up every year because the landlord will increase the payment every year, whereas the mortgage is fixed. I know maybe the property taxes will go up, but not as bad as when the landlord increased the price on you. كمان شغلة تانية يمكن landlord يقول لك I need the house, but until when you have your own house, you own it, so nobody can control you or take you out from the house. when you buy your own house and make some improvement, this is your own house. So أكيد في عنا شغلة emotional factors, qualitative factors, و quantitative factors. I'm a fan of getting number one goals. لأي واحد ما عنده his own or her own primary house, focus on getting that house. Identify your debt. Make some debt. It's a good debt to have. Review it with an advisor, someone expert. Review your debt. يقول لك أنا مثلا take care of this, or this one is fine to keep, or accelerate payment in this type of loans.
And that these are great ideas, Muhammad. Thank you so much. You put the nail on the head. I would like also to add, because I had just an experience that I shared with someone. I had a conversation with someone, and it was a very nice conversation. And now these days, it's I ask a young guy, do you have a goal to buy a house? And he says, yes, I'm very successful, but now I'm thinking about starting a new experience. I would like to live a little bit in different states and move on. And this is not just this person, it was all young graduated students that do like to experience something. So it's no longer their main thing to buy the house as a major thing, but again, they want to experience work and stuff like that. But I like the idea that no matter what you decide, keep in mind to review that with an expert, with someone that's had that expertise to tell you, is it good? You might buy it and leave it as an investment. You move on, you go somewhere else, and you come back, you'll find that house, even if you have a small condo or something. But again, have a conversation with other people. It's no longer there are things that you can use to see, is it better to rent or buy? But the most important thing are your credit, have the down payment, because the credit doesn't make it by itself. You need the credit, you need stability of a job, and you need income to buy a place. So don't just say I have 720 or 750 or 800 and I can go buy a place. So today is more difficult. You have to have that income, and that's why Mahmoud and Muhammad are talking about more saving and planning. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I mean, before we end this conversation, would like to give you last word. Little conclusion, something that you would like to add, something that you want to go back to, an advice that you want to give. We all have kids. We all have, go ahead, please. The floor is yours.
Well, I started, so I'll let Halawani go first. Go ahead.
And I was thinking about doing that. So
you guys want to put me on the spot? أنا بسمع منكم بعدين I summarize it or go.
Muhammad, he's making other states so jealous. He's taking the call outdoor and in the dark.
Yeah, I know.
He's making everybody jealous. They don't know if it's cold or snow or it's a background. Can you tell them it's not a background?
This is هون عم بعمل a priority for my kids. عم بعطيهم السبيس and I'm sitting outside. So anyhow, so أهم شيء put your priorities, balance your life. نحن الحياة قصيرة, life is short. Balance it between work, saving money, and family. Family comes first for me. Hopefully it comes to first to everyone. Balance it. Work hard. The beauty about this country that we all move to, opportunities. ما عندك, skies are the limit. Mahmoud is a great story to learn from. Tariq is a good story. It's a great story كمان, to learn from. كل واحد عنده his own story. Work hard in this country. If you're in your 40s, 50s, or حتى 30s, the age has nothing to do with it. Just work hard, and كمان think smart. Be smart with your decisions. Use the resources around you. الحلو in this country, my job, I can help people. Different countries, you might not have similar people with similar knowledge to help you and guide you well. So utilize that. Make sure you know the person who's helping you, whether the person who's doing your taxes, giving you some guidance, whether the person who's your realtor to find you your own primary house or the first house to buy, whether a business banker like you, Tariq. If I'm a business owner and I need some help or guidance, how to get a good mortgage, a line of credit, or a loan for my business, how to grow my business. We need somebody like you. ف يعني انا كثير بنبسط وبفتخر انه وجودنا بهالبلد باليونايتد ستيت اوف امريكا، لانه الفرص اللي عندنا كثير كبيره. بس all you need is just work hard, put your goals in front of you, prioritize what you need to achieve, والله بيوفق الجميع ان شاء الله يا رب.
يا رب يا رب. محمد, you're on mute.
محمود.
محمود, sorry.
بس I'm just gonna tell you يعني eliminate the noise. Don't listen to doomsday people. Market is gonna crash, the economy is gonna crash, people gonna lose their jobs. يعني I've been in the US for 21 years and I have heard this literally every week, regardless what's going on. Wars, crashes, COVID, lockdowns, it doesn't matter. And things always get better. And then things always go up. But people tend to be negative. So like Muhammad said, focus on your family, focus on yourself, focus on your work, focus on your own finances, and eliminate the noise. مالكش دعوة بالناس. محدش هيدفع لك البيلز بتاعتك. محدش هيساعدك لو وقعت. You're on your own. And since you're on your own, might as well have a mind of your own. And the best thing to do to your mind of your own is to invest in your mind. And the best investment you can do in your mind is educate yourself financially. Grab a couple of books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, okay? Stocks for Dummies. All these little books, read it. It's gonna make a huge difference. This is how you get to invest in your mind and really use your time for a beneficial thing that will make you a lot of money and will save you thousands of dollars by not making mistakes. Reach out to people that you think that they have done well in their life. Reach out for an advice. You know, it's very rewarding to people who get asked for advice. They feel good. So reach out, focus on yourself, eliminate the noise, eliminate anyone tell you doomsday, people, oh, market's crashing, things are bad, are gonna happen. If they know, they wouldn't be here. If anyone had a crystal ball, they would have already owned the world. So focus on yourself, focus on your loved ones.
Wonderful. Between the line, guys, I would like to thank Khalil Saad, our DJ Khalil, known by all names. He's been working behind the scene. He's the one who is running all this, by the way, guys. Please take a minute to thank him. Thank you so much for all you do. You've been here 1 hour before we started. You've been here. I'm sure you're going to stay 2 hours after that to edit everything and make sure it's run properly. Thank you for reaching out and working and texting as a group and reaching out. And thank you for preparing the next call and the next presentation. I would like also to thank all the board members of the AACC and especially Dr. Jadul, the president of the AACC, for all the hard work you're doing. Thank you, our guests. Gentlemen, thank you for your taking the time of your day, and we really appreciate it. And thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much and have a good evening.
Thank you all. Have a good evening. Thank you, Tariq. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Khalil.
محمود هرب.
Hey, Shisha. هو